everybody, welcome back to the channel. ScorpioCesar here once again to give you a review, this time for the NECA Spyro the Dragon. Now this one's been in my collection for a few months already. It's been out for maybe a year or so, maybe even more. Still, you can probably find him at Target like I did. I got lucky, but I'm not sure if he's being manufactured anymore. That being said, this is still a fantastic release for NECA and Spyro the Dragon, so we're going to take a look at him and tell you if he's worth hunting down, because it's Spyro the frickin' Dragon. I mean, who hasn't played a Spyro game? Alright, let's get to it. Alright, we gotta talk about Spyro here, because the amount of sculpted detail on here is second to none. NECA, despite how much crap I give you in the Turtles, and milking that franchise and abandoning others, I gotta give you props for this one, because your heart was in the right place and so were your sculptors. They knew exactly what they were doing here. Every little nook and cranny of detail on those horns on his head. Look at that. Little crevices there on those horns. I mean, they look like they're made of bone. The crest that he has going down the top of his head to the back of his head also looks wonderful. Everything here about his expression just screams Spyro. I mean, he's a confident little purple dragon. This guy is not playing any games, but if you haven't played his game, then he's gonna be really mad. Now, look at that expression. Doesn't that just exude confidence? I mean, look at him. He's absolutely adorable, but at the same time, a little intimidating if you think about it. His eyes are beautifully painted. His snout looks great. All those little bumps and details on the scales of his body, his purple little body, absolutely gorgeous. They did a great job here, and I love how the bigger scales are darker purple and the rest of the body is more of a lighter purple, while the underbelly of Spyro is also done up with that similar yellow paint that they used for the horns, but it's a bit darker here, and like I said before, lots of little details on the crevices of that body going all the way to the tail. And there's a lot of nice little brown dry brushing there to show a weathered look on Spyro. His claws are nicely painted as well. Beautiful job there. There's a little bit of there's some spikes going down the back of Spyro, and at the very tip of the tail it looks kind of like a seashell almost. It's very interesting, very weird, but it looks great, and there's a little oranges there going around it. So yeah, the wings as well are done similarly to the fin on his head. Some yellow paint with some orange as well. Some really nice shading going on there. Overall, I gotta hand it to NECA when it came to the looks department, because with this little purple dragon, this is not something you want to screw up for fans, and they hit it out of the ballpark with this one. Absolutely one of the best looking ones I've ever seen. Now onto the articulation. His head can move back a good amount, so he can look up. You can look down a good amount, tilt side to side to really give you that eye. And yeah, his head turns. Lots of good articulation with this one. Now granted, I did have to take this guy and dip him in some hot water and let him sit there for a little while to get those joints up and moving. So if you do get him, do note that he will be tight, as typical NECA fare is. The neck will move back and forward a little bit, but don't stress it too much. You don't want to break it. Like I said, try the hot water treatment or even hot air. Any of those will work. The arms can move forward and back. They do spread apart, but I have a little more trouble with my right arm than I do my left arm here. So that's good that there's articulation there, and there's a bit of articulation with the feet as well. Not a lot. It does rotate. It does feel like it's on a ball joint system, but there's not a lot of give there. There is articulation here around the waist. He does rotate, so that's always good. And you could kind of, you know, fidget him around a little bit there, so that's good articulation. The legs, the back legs, same story here. There is rotation at the foot as well. Similar engineering to the front legs. The wings are really nice actually, because they're on a hinge system here. So you can actually get those wings to lay flat like that, or you can have them stand up like that. You can even rotate them at the base as well, and that gives you some more options as to how to display Spyro. And then for the tail, it's on a system of ball joints, and it moves and grooves really well. Haven't had any issues of the tail popping off for any reason. And if you so desire, you can even get Spyro in a flying pose. So let's just replicate that real fast. Look at that. Isn't that great or what? Now Spyro's a standalone release. That means that he doesn't come with any accessories whatsoever in his blister pack, but here he is with some other figures you might have in your collection. Here we have the SH Figure Arts Pac-Man, the U2's Banjo-Kazooie, and the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog. And here we have him next to the NECA Crash Bandicoot that I reviewed for the channel way back then, when it came out, like a couple years ago, I think at this point, maybe 3 years ago. God, it seems like forever. So okay, overall, I gotta say NECA absolutely nailed this Spyro the Dragon release. They really didn't have to do this, but they did. Around the time of this one's release was the release of the Reignited trilogy, so everybody kind of had that rekindled flame, so to speak, with their memories of Spyro the Dragon. Perfect timing for NECA to release this one. Unfortunately, it's starting to become a rarity. You might still find him at Targets, however, if you don't, you're probably at the mercy of the aftermarket, and you all know the aftermarket isn't kind when it comes to video game figures or NECA figures for that matter. So if you find him, get him right away. He's definitely worth owning, especially if you're a fan of Spyro the Dragon, because, I mean, if you're not a fan of the Spyro the Dragon, then what are you doing here? I mean, unless you're a fan of dragons in general, then he's an awesome little purple dragon, and it's definitely worth adding to your video game shelf. Anyways, that's it for this review. High marks for me. Would have been nice if he came with some extra accessories, of course, but he doesn't. And for the price point, I forgot what his MSRP was, but I think I spent around $30-something for this guy. So anyways, that's it for this review. I hope it was helpful and informative, and if it was, then I did my job. Anyways, remember, collect everything, connect everything, and do your best if you can't, right? Not everybody's made of money, and I know I'm sure not. Anyways, yeah, that's it for the end of this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed and would like to see more videos like this, hitting the like button, sharing the video, commenting, and subscribing will help us defeat the evil algorithm. And if you enjoy video games, I have a dedicated channel just for that, so I hope to see you there.